trend is changing. Moving to the next slide. Debunking user experience. So before we kind of define what is the ISO definition of a usability, let's see some of the examples. As far as the presentation is concerned, I tried making this presentation to be more of a visual form, so it won't be boring for you. So this is the first example, So a typical electrical switchboard in our homes. So at a glance, this is a pretty good layout of these buttons. There are some rotary knobs and the sockets are there. So you'll feel this is a great UI. But the moment you want to switch off the tube light, I'm sure most of us will switch off all the 4 buttons. So it's not at all intuitive. It's not communicative for any of the users. Moving to the next slide, this is one of my favorite examples. So this was conceptualized by one of the usability gurus, Don Norman. In 1984, he came up with a book called Design of Everyday Things, and this was the poster, or this was the front, or this was the cover image of his book. So again, it looks pretty good. It's a sexy UI, good colors, good graphics, or very balanced shape. But the moment you want to pour the tea, I'm sure your fingers will get burnt. So good-looking things may not be usable. Hey, this is another example. Imagine that you are driving a car on a national highway or an express highway. You're already busy in managing the speed, you're busy in looking at the traffic, so on and so forth, and you want to open for a particular reason a rear window glass, So these buttons, those are very soft, just touch it, feel it, but again, it's very difficult for you to manage because the graphics on it is not at all communicative. I'm sure any user will get completely confused with this. Error messages. There is a site, I don't remember the name, but funnierrormessages.com or something like that. So errors, every user, you and me, will definitely come up with error at any of the times. So errors need to be defined appropriately, otherwise users would get completely confused. For example, the top one, it's a success, the operation completed successfully, but it's an error message. Why? Some error has happened, okay, but you should tell me as a system, system, I expected from a user that how do I recover from this error, or some technical error messages which I can't understand at all as a user. Moving to the next example. This is a typical his restroom or washroom at the airport. I know that while designing this kind of washrooms, the most important aspect that anybody considers is kind of a space, how to appropriately use the space so more and more passengers can use it. But such kind of arrangement, you're eating the space but nothing comes out and no passengers can use this. This is another example. So this is a CRM or application which would be used by enterprise-wide users, but it's so confusing. There are about 40. I counted those, 40 plus checkboxes, 14 buttons, 10 entry fields, and on top of that, she's supposed to use this for about 8 hours, 9 hours, so on and so forth. So can you imagine the kind of cognitive load that would be coming on such kind of a user? So only making this left aligned, right aligned, so on and so forth, putting the buttons at the bottom is not going to enhance the user experience. In a nutshell, user experience is not making the product look sexy or beautiful, by making some cosmetic changes. No. But to make them easy to use, intuitive, error-free, and the overall experience should be delightful. This is user experience. Let's move on.